Hey everybody, it's another later in the day edition of Off the Ledge. Sorry if you like to have them earlier. I had to get my heat fixed and it was pretty chilly here. And that did occur, and then after that, we had a really good show. Kathy Beale and Louise Eddington. So Louise is our Cosmic Owl, and Kathy, is our professional Aquarian. So we did a collab, and it was really fun. So I posted it on my community page, and it's also on their YouTube pages. So check that out. And I think we might do it again. It was really great. And I want everyone, really sincerely, I want everyone to be in a mindset of the regime is falling. The regime is disassembling. The regime is recognizing those who are really nefarious players in this whole situation that we find ourselves in. The really cruel, evil ones are starting to feel a little less secure in their position. And during our show, we talked about our feelings about the way that things are going. So it's really important that we keep single-minded on the goal. We keep our focus steadfast on the goal. This is Ernest over here. We must have faith in the universal mind connected to all to co-create what it is that we want to have manifest. Ernest Holmes was born in the state of Maine. I think it was Lincoln, Maine. And then he spent his adult years in California, right around the movie industry. So, speaking of movie industry, think about the movie that you want to see unfold. I think that's a really great way to do it. What movie do you want to see? Focus on it. Use your imagination. Albert Einstein famously said, imagination is more important than knowledge. When Albert Einstein was asked how to increase one's intelligence, do you know what he said? I've heard this from various sources. He said, read fairy tales. Let's practice our imagination skills. Let's hone those a little better. The regime is falling. The evidence is everywhere that the regime is falling. Look around. And how about looking at only the evidence that the regime is falling? How about that one? Because what they're attempting to do to the United States of America is not sustainable. And we've seen enough. And they've attacked us on every single level. They've attacked all the things that we hold sacred and dear. They've attacked anything, hear me, they've attacked anything that represents democracy itself. The light's changing this time of year, so I wasn't really prepared for the spotlight. But anyway, it's kind of like I'm outside. The light is winning! And the light broke through the blinds. Let's read from Ernest. By the way, I did mention that I ordered this cutout of Ernest Holmes from the Science of Mind archives. They're in Maryland, I believe. And, I gave a donation and got the cutout, but it was supposed to come in the summer, and then it didn't show up. I had to ask them if they had gotten my order, and then they dug up my order, and they were like, oh, we're so sorry it's so late. But better late than never, Ernest. And actually, it's so nice to have a picture of him, his likeness, next to us while we're doing this work. So November 14th is entitled Christ, and use that word as a, I guess I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the word light instead of Christ, simply for the fact that a lot of people have religious trauma. And if you're a member, I have a 40-day program for releasing religious guilt that's set for members under the videos, so you might want to check that out if that is something that you struggle with. But I'm going to use the word light instead of the word Christ, just for that reason. That it has negative connotations for some people. Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the sons of God unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. I'm going to change that into more modern day language. Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the sons and daughters of God, unto a perfect human, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of the light. The Bible tells us the real self of each of us is light. This light is the perfect invisible presence back of, in, and through every living soul. Just as there is but one God or first cause, so there is but one person, the manifestation of the divine Spirit in and through all people. Throughout the ages, this Christ has come with some degree of clarity to those who have meditated long and earnestly upon the nature of the divinity that is in everything. Today we permit light to be born in our consciousness. Today we realize that light is the universal, appearing through every deed of goodness, truth, or love. As we unveil the Christ in our nature, the light in our nature, we know that the countenance of the same light will be revealed to us through others. We enter into our divine inheritance through the recognition of our union with the supreme light. And then Ernest takes from the Science of Mind book, we must understand that Christ is not a person but a principle, which is why I said that. As the human gives way to the divine in all people, they become the Christ. So he even brought it up, that's what he's referencing is Christ as a principle. Let's listen to Kathy Beale's forecast for today. I think the reason that some of us feel like we're in a time warp, besides Mercury being retrograde and so many things being just really weird these days, is that, like I'm bearing witness to, it's like 2:30 and the sun's like going down. I know, we're all disoriented lately. Here's Kathy for today.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for November 14th, 2025. You may question your sanity. You're probably going to question somebody else's sanity. Today could give you really clear information about how confused somebody has been, or how not entirely honest on the up and up somebody in your life has been, or on how maybe you got confused about what was your responsibility and you let yourself off the hook for it. That's all for now. This is Kathy Beale.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I actually want to hear that one again.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for November 14th, 2025. You may question your sanity. You're probably going to question somebody else's sanity. Today could give you really clear information about how confused somebody has been, or how not entirely honest on the up and up somebody in your life has been, or on how maybe you got confused about what was your responsibility and you let yourself off the hook for it. That's all for now.
I think we can all relate to that. Thank you, Kathy. EmpowermentUnlimited.net. Let's pull 3 cards for... Oh, big cloud came. Let's pull 3 cards for today. There's certain parts of the world where the light is just kind of like, different. This is one of those places. I've mentioned that before. A lot of painters and artists come to this area because of the way the light hits things. It's interesting. Speaking of light. Okay. Before I show you the cards, I just want to let you know that things are going to get better. I mean that. Things are going to get better. So let's keep our focus on that. Listen to the inner voice. When we raise our consciousness, we move from sorrow into a kind of enlightenment. I know there are bad people in this country. There are bad people in the world. There have always been bad people. Ernest Holmes here lived during World War I and World War II and still wrote The Science of Mind. There's a huge explosion of spiritual material during those times. So this is like one of those times again, because that was like, this is like, we're on the 100-year cycle, right? That was like 100 years ago that he was doing all that he was doing, really, when he was at his peak. So we're moving from sorrow into tuning in, reminding you now, this card's reminding me, we did a guided meditation for Healed America last night. If you missed it, or even if you didn't miss it, if you were with us, go do that meditation. It's not necessary to listen to the chit-chat for the first 15 minutes. The most important thing is a meditation, the remaining 15 minutes. So go within and raise your consciousness, and we'll get out of this. We will. There's passive action, and there's action to get us out of this. So let's do both. Don't forget to download Miracle of Mind, the free app that Sadhguru designed to get yourself into a meditation practice. It will change your life, I promise. One other thing is that we're having a winter solstice Zoom party, and Kathy Beal and I, and that's a Zoom event. It's a buy tickets for it event. Like we did Halloween, we did it that way. So go to empowermentunlimited.net to get your tickets for the winter solstice Zoom gathering. It's going to be very magical. We need a lot of magic these days. It really lifts everything up. All right, thumbs up. Please hype this video if you can. If you see the button, become a member if you can, and you're privy to all the amazing offerings that are here. And thank you for your love and support. If you can donate, please do. It helps me pay the bills and keep the gas on. Namaste. See you.